Okay. Hi, everybody. We'll get going here in a minute. If you haven't already, or if you don't have an Alexa device, download the mobile app. Just go to your app store and download the Alexa app, and then create an account if you don't already have one and log in. Towards the end of training, we will be doing some kind of hands-on testing. So again, if you don't have an Alexa device, just download the app real quick and log into it. And then near the end of training, we're going to do a little hands-on testing with you folks. So we'll get going in about a minute. Okay, we will jump right in. People will keep joining as we're going. Thank you for coming to the Alexa skill training for finding homes. My name is Justin. I'm the founder and CEO of Lundy Inc., and we've built Finding Homes. So let's jump right into it. Okay, so the training objective here over the next 30 minutes. First, we're going to learn why. Right? Why has RMLS picked up this product? Why are other MLSs across the country picking this up? And how does voice fit into real estate nowadays? And how this is going to get your listings more exposure than they're already getting. And then we're going to learn how to. So by the end of this training, I hope that you guys know how to initiate a search by voice and set a search for a property or find specific properties, and then by the end of this, maybe even be able to reach out to somebody you know that could use this or might think it's cool and teach them how to use it. Okay, so kicking off, and why does this exist? So a lot in the world is trending towards voice. I know this says nearly half of all search is done by voice, but in addition to search, people are performing tasks by voice, right? In my house alone, you can lock the front door, you can turn the heat up and down, or open my garage just through the Alexa device with all its integrations into the things into my home. But people do use it a lot to search, to text friends, to get directions to places. And so when we say nearly half of all search is done by voice, what this is taking into account is everybody with a mobile device that has at one time or another opened the internet, hit the little microphone, and just talked at their device while their phone dictated their question. It also includes millions and millions of people in the car that are asking for directions to a location or asking their mobile device to text a friend. And it includes the speakers, right? The Alexa devices, the Google speakers, the Apple HomePods. There are hundreds of millions of these in homes across America. And, people use them quite often, actually. And so that's what everything, all of that is taken into account when they say nearly half of all search is done by voice. However, if you were to ask any of these devices anything real estate related, the best that you're going to get is a Google search result. And that's going to send you straight to Zillow or Realtor.com. Which is helpful, but it's not the device itself answering your question, right? And so that's actually what we've built, is a platform where we partner with your MLS to syndicate every active listing to voice, so that a consumer with an Alexa device or the mobile app can simply ask for homes for sale, and that information is delivered to them audibly through that device's speakers. And so when we built this product and this platform, we actually worked closely with the National Federation of the Blind to make sure that we were delivering this information about each home in a complete, meaningful way. And so that's a good place to start as far as why we built this, and the core of our mission is accessibility. So I was a realtor down here in San Diego for a number of years. And I watched as my mother-in-law aged into blindness right? And so all of the things that we take for granted, like the internet, were suddenly taken away. And one of her favorite things to do was just window shop for homes, like a lot of us, right? And so that all of a sudden was gone. And in her age, learning how to use something like a screen reader is really difficult. And even for the folks that are great with screen readers, utilizing them on a real estate website with all the abbreviations and the different, tags that represent fields and field options, it doesn't come through well, and it's really frustrating to try to dissect real estate information. So we built this platform with that in mind. And what we did is we actually did partner with the National Federation of the Blind. They built us focus groups of low vision and no vision folks across the country that were able to test this for us, break it, help us put it back together. And most importantly, we were able to interview all of them and ask them a ton of questions about their real estate experience. And when asked how they found their most current home, overwhelmingly, the response was, well, my siblings can see, so they'd come over on the weekends and tell me every detail about every home they'd see, or my spouse can see, or my kids can see. And every single time the answer was the same. I just sat on the sidelines while everybody else found the home for my family. And that's the exact opposite of what they want. So they were excited about the idea of this product, and as it grows, it's getting more and more exciting for everybody. And so that's kind of how we developed how this data gets delivered. And I'll be doing a demo here shortly, so you guys can see that. Beyond being blind, there's a ton of other application for an audio input and output for real estate information. This is a real stat. 83 million monthly active users of voice technology in the car every month. So that's people, sitting in traffic with nothing to do other than keep their eyes on the road. And so this could be a great time for them to be, window shopping for homes. And I know, as a realtor myself, I literally spent my life in the car. I was writing offers in the car. I was definitely eating most of my meals in the car. And between listing presentations or showing buyers house after house after house, there was more than one occasion where the house I was going to, I couldn't remember the details of it. And I'm either flipping through my printouts or I'm on HomeSnap trying to figure it out. And had this technology existed, I could have simply said, hey, I'm heading to this property. Give me an overview, or tell me, does this home have solar, or whatever I needed to know about that property. I could have been well informed as I showed up while keeping my eyes on the road, right? So that's kind of the benefits to consumers. One is the increased accessibility. The other is kind of the safety component, right? While they're driving. For you as agents and brokers, I'm sure you're aware of these ADA lawsuits that are rising at an extremely fast rate. And if you haven't heard of it, there's these litigation trolls that sit in an office and mail off letters as fast as they can to anybody with a website that says, hey, I've got a client that's blind and they can't access your website. And we're not saying that we're going to get rid of those trolls. But what we are saying is this product and your listings being on this product make them more accessible than ever imagined. And so you guys are doing, you're doing more than the minimum, I would say, to create an accessible listing for those consumers. Again, it's great for hands-free access in your car, and the world is moving in this direction. I've got a 5-year-old at home. He's always had speakers in the house, so he's used to just locking the door before he goes to bed by talking, right? Or if I tell him something he doesn't believe, he goes and fact checks me with Alexa. It's crazy, but it's the future. So it's about time that this kind of technology came around. So from here on, I'm going to go through some of the voice commands that are pretty intuitive, that get you started with starting the skill for one, setting up a search, and how to do a few things with it. But first things first, I'm sure everybody knows what Alexa is. It's a home speaker, and again, it's also an app on any mobile device. And if you're near the speaker and you say Alexa, or if the app is open on your phone and you say Alexa, it starts listening so that you can then ask it whatever you want to know. And so that's the Alexa device or the app. A skill is what Amazon calls their apps, right? And there's even a skill store, just like there's an app store on your phone. You can go to the skill store, which is third-party companies like myself that build things that can be utilized by voice. Sometimes it's games, sometimes it's the weather, sometimes it's, you know, performing tasks. So that's what a skill is. And to launch a skill or to enable a skill on your device, all you have to do is say the name of that skill, but you have to say Alexa to make sure it's listening. And then you say start, launch, or begin the skill name. So in our case, it's finding homes. So you just say, Alexa, start finding homes. I forgot to mention, if you have an Alexa device near the training, I'm sorry, she's probably going crazy right now. Just mute them for a bit. So that's what an Alexa device is. A skill, again, is just a third-party app. And to start it, you say start the skill name, start finding homes. Okay, so with our skill, the moment you say start finding homes, you're greeted by Alexa, and she kind of takes over the dialogue so that you're not confused about what to do next. So you say start finding homes, she's just going to welcome you and then say, how can we begin? You can search by specific property address, or you can set a search either by city or by zip code. If you say specific address, she's just going to want to know what the property address is. You know, what is it? Please include the city and state, because there's a lot of addresses in there at this point. And so you say 123 Main Street, Portland, Oregon, and she'll load that property. And then anything that you want to know about that house, as long as the realtor filled in that information, it's available to just ask, and Alexa will deliver that audibly. If you do leave the skill for whatever reason, you take a call, you just, you know, get distracted and you come back later, that property is still saved and you'll be able to just jump right in where you left off. If you choose search by city or search by zip code, both of those options is going to start a dialogue between you and the device, because she just needs a few more questions answered to really narrow in your search. You know, what is the city that you want to search by, or zip code? What is the price or maximum price? So she'll find houses up to that price. Minimum number of bedrooms and minimum number of bathrooms. In the future, we'll add additional filtering options, but for now it needs to be simple, just as people learn how to use this and try to understand it. So just with that quick dialogue, price, bedrooms, bathrooms, and city, Alexa will deliver all of the matching properties that fit within your search in a list. And we'll begin with the most recently listed and give a brief description of each property. And at that time, you can say, tell me more about this one, or go on to the next one. Again, I'll show you this in our demo. Okay, so then for saving the search, you don't actually have to say save search, it automatically saves. So again, if you go through that dialogue, you get a search set up and she's delivering properties, you can leave and go and come back an hour later or the next day or a week later. And that search has not only been saved, but it's been updating while you were gone. So if there's any new matching properties, those will be the first things that she delivers, because she gives the most recently listed properties. So that's saving a search. If you want to modify the search for any reason, maybe you said, you know, find me a house in Portland for $1 million. That's a 5-bedroom, 5-bathroom, and there's nothing. Then you can say try. Try is the modify word. So you can modify any of those fields, but you simply say try, you know, 4 bedrooms, or try 3 bedrooms, or try $2 million. Whatever it is that you want to change, any of those, you just say try, and then she'll swap that out for you. If you want to scrap the whole thing and start over, you just say start over and get going. Okay, so that's kind of how you set up. That's how you get started. That's how you find specific properties or find all the properties that match your criteria. And then once that's done, what is it that consumers can actually hear about your properties? And so just to start, if they are setting up a search by city or zip code, the only properties that will be delivered are active residential listings. So it's not going to be pending or sold. It'll only be the active properties. Again, this is by a broad search, and it won't be commercial or rentals. If they ask for properties by specific address, it will deliver the pending properties. It'll say, hey, this house isn't for sale, it's pending, but here are the details of the home. Or very recently sold, it could deliver those too. And we had to build that in because we found, I actually had this lady who was blind in Sacramento. She kept finding these properties, or her mom kept finding these properties on Zillow and was like, you need to check this one out, it's right in that neighborhood you want to live in. And then she'd try our system, and our system was like, we can't find that property. And so she thought it was broken, but it turns out those properties had been pending or sold, and Zillow hadn't updated their database. So while we knew it wasn't for sale, so we weren't delivering it, she was getting frustrated. So now we deliver pending and sold properties, just so that they know we know that property exists, it's just not for sale. Anyway, so that's, if they do a search, that's the properties they'll find. However, once they're in a property, they can ask about anything. And if it's a public facing MLS field, that data will be delivered, again, as long as the agent has actually filled in that field. So that will come into play later. You know, the more complete your listings are, the better experience these consumers are going to have. And then notifications. So again, your search is already saved. If you want to be notified every time that search, like something matches your search criteria, just say turn on notifications. And the first time you do it, it'll have you manually go into the app and, you know, confirm your permissions. And then after that, you can say turn on, turn off notifications all you want, and it just does it audibly. But what that does is it will alert the Alexa devices in your home. They'll make a sound, they'll turn it like a yellowish green color, and you'll know that there's a notification there, which is pretty cool. Okay, so I'm going to do a quick demo. This is an Alexa device, believe it or not. It's the Echo Show 15. You don't have to have this one. Any of them work. The little hockey puck ones, the Echo Dots. There's Echo Shows with smaller screens. There's the mobile apps on your phone. All of them work the exact same way. So let me do a quick demo, and then we'll do questions after. Alexa, start finding homes.
Welcome back. Would you like to hear more about the results of your recent search for homes with 5 or more bedrooms and 5 or more bathrooms under $2 million in Park City?
Start over.
Let's begin your home search. If you know the exact address, say search by address. Otherwise, say search by city or search by zip code.
Search by city.
Okay, what city and state would you like?
Portland, Oregon.
What is your maximum price?
$1 million.
What is the minimum number of bedrooms you need?
5.
And the minimum number of bathrooms?
5.
Okay, great. There are 2 properties matching your search. Starting with the most recently listed, you have 140 Northeast Sacramento Street, Unit 172. This is a condominium with 5 bedrooms and 5 bathrooms measuring 2,850 square feet, listed at $900,000. Say yes to hear more about this property, or next to hear the next one.
Next.
Okay, the next property is 172 Northeast Sacramento Street. This is a condominium with 5 bedrooms and 5 bathrooms measuring 2,850 square feet, listed at $910,000. Say yes if that's the one you want, or next if you want to hear the next one.
Yes.
Welcome to 172 Northeast Sacramento Street. Come home to elevated townhouse living in one of 9 recently completed units close to the Alberta district. What can I tell you about this home? You can choose from the following options: property overview, HOA, or parking.
What kind of flooring is in this home?
The flooring in this home consists of tile flooring, hardwood floors, wood floors, engineered hardwood, and slate flooring. What else can I answer about this property?
What is the roof made of?
The roof is made of membrane. What else can I answer about this property?
How long has this home been on the market?
This home has been on the market for 101 days. What else may I help with?
Turn on notifications.
Okay, I'll notify you right away when new matching listings come on the market that match your search for homes with 5 or more bedrooms and 5 or more bathrooms under 1 million in Portland.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Come back again just by saying, Alexa, start finding homes.
Okay, so that's kind of a basic demo of the functionality. Hopefully that kind of demonstrated how to get a search started, how to cruise through what the available properties by saying next or yes, and then kind of turning on those notifications. We're going to complete one last piece of this training, and then we will open it up to questions, and we'll do a little testing on your own devices for anybody that wants to. So this last section is about the listing input. That demo actually went pretty well. The few fields that I asked about had been filled in. However, we do come across a large number of listings that, you know, the agent fills in just the required fields. And then for the consumer, they'll ask about a lot of these fields that they're interested in, and it'll say, I'm sorry, I don't know the answer because the data is not there. So for, again, back to our core mission, which is to create the accessibility. So if I'm blind, I can, you know, window shop for homes just like everybody else. This may be the only access I have to real estate. And so, you know, getting part of the data through this system and then having to go Google the rest isn't really an option, right? And so just the completeness of the listing comes into play here. You know, just thinking about it from this platform, it becomes really critical. And that's just for the blind. If I'm somebody that can see, it's the same, right? Because maybe I'm driving, or maybe my hands are full and my Alexa device goes off and says, hey, there's a new matching property and I'm excited, so just tell me about it. And half the fields are missing. Then even as somebody that can see, I'm like, I'm not having a great experience with that. So from all of the MLSs that we've onboarded, not just RMLS, but these are the things that we've noticed that kind of do create the worst, a bad customer experience. The public facing comments, like the property description, often we'll see spelling errors or just abbreviations. And I do understand that there's a character limit and you want to get it as much as possible. But when you're reading abbreviations or even spelling errors, your brain quickly puts those words together and knows without missing a beat what that was supposed to say. However, when you hear it, it's really odd. So that's something just to consider. And then just those fields that are left blank, whether they're nice to know or need to know fields, the more complete the listing, the better. And this graph here actually comes out of RMLS data. We received this information from your executive team. And it's pretty clear, the more complete your listings are, the faster they sell, and for the either closer to list price or for more money, which is evidence enough. Forget my system. Like, if you want to sell a house fast, fill it out. What we did was we took all of from our point of view, we can see which listings are the most complete. And so over all the MLSs, we sent out surveys to those agents that do complete the listings just to get some best practices. What came back is super obvious. I know that. However, here they are, printing out the listing input form and bringing it to the home so that while you're walking around, you're not trying to remember all the fields you need. You can just simply look down, check it off, get that data while you're there. Digital measuring tapes is a great tip, just because it's so accurate and it's so fast, especially if you're alone. utilizing the homeowner, obviously double check your information, and then looking back at past listings. And if you guys have more input on what you do for best practices to provide the most complete listings, please let me know what those are. And so that was it for listing input. Not too painful. And then this is the last section, I promise. Nancy, we will do questions here in a moment. So driving consumer adoption real quick, because it will be up to you guys for the short term, especially at first, to drive consumer adoption, because this is something that consumers aren't used to doing. Well, they are used to using voice. They're not used to using voice to find real estate. So for me as an agent, I was always looking for reasons to reach out to my sphere of past clients or just my friends, just to try to stay top of mind. And it was the worst if I didn't really have anything to talk about. So something like this could be a great excuse just to send a text or an email saying, look, you got to see this new cool thing that my listings are on, or this capability now, if you didn't know it was available, and just run them through a quick tutorial or talk to them, show them how it works. Definitely putting it in your listing presentation is a good idea. Homeowners right now with the market as it is, they're going to want to know you guys are utilizing every single platform available to get their listings exposure. So that's a cool, and it also shows that you guys are really taking a step to go above and beyond in accessibility. Email signature, I like putting like a deep link into something like all my listings are accessible by voice. I think that's super cool. You can just copy and paste this link into that, and that would actually, anybody that clicks it is then taken to a page that will allow them to enable finding homes on their Alexa device. And then closing gifts, right? Retention is always a big problem. It's something like 75% of consumers use a new agent every single time. And so if you brand an Alexa device, they're super cheap. And I mean, this looks really cool. And it's been proven through the data that consumers put these in the most trafficked rooms in the house. So the living room, their kitchen, office, wherever they are the most, and they're always earshot away from an Alexa device. And even if they're using it just to, check the weather or play some music, every time they do it, they're going to see your branding, which I think is super cool. Okay, so that's it for the training. We can now test this on our own. Anybody that's interested in doing that. Here again are the quick instructions. Just say, Alexa, start finding homes, search by city, use one of your cities in your market, and go from there. We'll give you a few minutes, and I'm going to just mute myself and start answering some of these questions that are coming in. And so take a few minutes to go ahead and test it. I'll set a timer for 3 minutes, and then give me your feedback. If you guys are having trouble with it, anybody that needs help troubleshooting, what we can do is after the training, I can just stay on as long as I need to and work with anybody that's not able to get this working. Okay, so go ahead and test for a few minutes. I'm going to mute myself. Okay, just at about 3 minutes. How did it go? Did anybody try it? Does anybody have comments or questions about it, or questions about any of the training today? Good. So these slides will be available for everybody. So I think they will be emailed out to you guys, and I believe a video also of this will be available. But if anybody does have any comments or questions, let me know. If not, we can wrap it up. Okay, I think we're good to go. All right, guys. Well, thank you for joining me. I hope this was helpful. Oh, wait, we got a couple questions. Okay. Oh, Nancy, it's not working. Hi, Nancy.
Hi,
How's it
are you
going?
there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I can't see you anymore, but I can hear you.
Okay. Are you what are you trying to use it on? Are you using a device?
I'm using it on my phone, my iPhone 12,
Okay.
and I went in and went into the App Store and got I think I got it. I thought I got it. I went to Amazon,
Sure.
Alexa app, opened it up, and opened up Amazon Alexa.
Mhm.
Now, with that being said, I just want to go in, all I want to do is talk to my phone. Is that the whole purpose of this? Or do I have to go into the app every single time and open it up and then press the button down on the lower right-hand side and open it up?
You just need to have the app open. You don't need to push anything.
Okay, I have the app open. It looks
Okay.
like it's saying, it says home down at the bottom, communicate, play, device, more, and then it's got the blue circle. Go ahead.
So just try saying, Alexa, start finding homes. Or maybe it heard me.
It heard you and it didn't do anything. I've got it turned up.
In your homes.
Okay, there it goes.
Know the exact address.
Okay.
Say search by address. Otherwise,
It wasn't
say
search for
by
me,
city.
but that's okay.
Search by zip code.
It may have like a lag the first time, but it should get going for you every time after that.
Okay, you've been patient with me. I appreciate it.
No worries. Thank you for trying. I appreciate it.
And I did have one other question. Do you have a moment?
Yeah.
Okay, so you were mentioning, and I agree with you 100%, and it is very challenging in RMLS to describe a beautiful home, whether it be 300,000 up to a couple mil.
Mhm.
And so we do have 500 characters that we're allowed to put into RMLS, the public section. So what I always do is add additional PDFs. We are allowed to add 5. Does
Okay.
this system go in? Can this system, is it that intricate to go in and maybe pull up, and or do we put somewhere in our in a system in there in RMLS where you've got it set up that says Alexa will read this additional document for additional information? Is that something that we're allowed to do? I get the abbreviations.
I didn't, so I'm gonna have to go in the back end and look, because if those additional PDFs are public facing, then we would technically be able to read them. I just know that we're not currently pulling them. So that's just something that I need to reconfigure, because I was unaware of the availability of that.
Yeah, there's 5 additional PDFs that we're able to allow. And most skilled agents would go in there and add additional documentation pertaining to the house information wise, especially if they, like you said, they want to get the house sold, especially in the market that we're in and going to be staying in for a while. So this is information, and it also goes in there, and the PDFs, you know, if a buyer wants to know if the property has been decommissioned, you know, for an oil tank or something like that.
Yep.
Those documents would also be in there. I just don't know where I would put that information for it to point to it, to Alexa to read it.
You wouldn't need to do anything. We would need to just pull that data with our initial data ingestion and just deliver it on the back end of the agent's description of the property. So it's more just technically on our end figuring it out. I think you just do what you do, and then if those PDFs are there, we'll find them and deliver them.
Okay.
But we're not doing that today. So it may be some time before we figure that out.
Okay, no worries. I just need to know, and because I want to, that's the way I get information out, more information out, because the abbreviations do happen.
Of course.
It's hard not to abbreviate because 500 characters is nothing.
I understand.
Describe a home. It's nothing.
I know.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Nice to meet you.
All right, nice to meet you too. Bye.
Okay. Are there any other questions or hands? Okay, cool. Well, in that case, thank you again for joining us. And if there is anything else, don't hesitate to reach out and, you know, play with it, test it. If you guys think of things that make it better, I obviously didn't know about those PDFs. So things like that are very helpful. This product is by no way done or perfect. So we're always trying to make it better. So thanks again, and see you guys later.